He doesn't know the intro yet. Hi everybody, Emmy's back! Woo! And we're here, joined with Andrew Cohn of the band Allusions. If anybody recognizes the name Allusions, I wore their t-shirt in our first reaction video.
Sick plug, by the way.
See their video here. Today, I have him here because I need his help. I understand classical singing, I understand rock singing, I understand pop, R&B, all that stuff, but there's one genre that I don't fully get, and that is screaming. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I have seen it before, but it still shocks me every time I watch it. So I need his help reviewing this video because he's gonna help with the things that I don't fully understand. I understand metal because then we got like power metal, like yeah kind of stuff, so that I know. I did an F5. We have Ins Tuner going as always. Ins Tuner. Are you ready?
Like Vanna White.
Are you excited?
Yes.
You should be. Ready? We are watching Jinjer, Pisces, as highly requested.
How fitting.
How fitting.
Jinjer.
Jinjer. Oh! 3, 2, 1. We're both in white tank tops. It was meant to be.
I'm gonna preface this by saying I've heard of Jinjer before. I've never taken the time to listen to them. This is my first exposure to them, so I'm really excited. I've been meaning to listen to them forever.
You're welcome.
And I see them everywhere, but I haven't done this yet, so thank you for that.
You're very welcome. Thank the fans for requesting her. So far, nothing too crazy. I can talk because this is vocals. So nothing too crazy, very pretty tone. The lowest note you did was na na na. E3 it says. Average note for a girl. But it's very pretty. It's a very straight tone. There was no vibrato really. It was just she's just using the middle of her voice. Nice little chest voice, nothing crazy.
Suffering with smile.
Really good delivery too.
Good diction. For being from Italy, I understand everything she's saying. That nose ring is extra and I like it. It's like glam.
Really nice groove overall. This song's cool.
Here we go. It's a deep scream for a chick.
That one.
I have so many questions. Yes, queen.
Wow.
She doesn't even look like she's trying.
And that could be for one of two reasons. It's either that, you know, it's the difference between the video recording versus the track recording, or she's well trained.
Yeah.
And, you know, she knows where to push from. She knows how hard she has to push to deliver it in a certain way.
Yeah.
And it comes out seamless.
It says it's a live session, so I'm going to trust them that it is live.
I'm going to go with well trained.
And knows what she's doing. I'm going to trust that it's a live, straight thing. We're going to go with that for now, so may as well.
If it's a live sound, it's a very good live sound.
Heck yeah.
Awesome.
Go Italy. Pellegrino. So, what is she doing?
I mean, it sounds like a false chord, and the reason that I'm going with a false chord is simply the overall resonance that it has in the room and the lack of a tone behind it. It's very
It's just straight scream.
It's very straightforward, and that gives me the indication that it's just the false chord vocal slap.
That's cool,
as
you're right,
opposed
because
to
false chords don't have tone.
Correct. Some do. It depends on, you know, how hard you're pushing versus how little air you're letting through the openings, how much air you're letting through the openings, how wide the opening is, how narrow the opening is. There's a lot of there's science.
Can you imitate what she's doing? I usually imitate the high notes, but there are no high notes to be had here.
It sounds like, again, she's doing a false chord style, which our vocal styles don't sound the same.
Yeah.
But my false chord style is a little bit more open and a little bit more, I guess, vocal behind the scream driven. So mine's more.
It still read your notes. It said C#5 and then A4.
Which is awesome. Like I said, voice behind it. It gives it a nice pitch. But she has some voice behind it, and she's able to change that pitch based on the shape of her mouth. There's a couple of different vowel shapes at the end of the phrase where she goes really, really wide with her mouth, and you hear how it raises. Yes. So with those style screams, that's because there's not a lot of pitch behind it. It's really, really, really important that your mouth does what it's supposed to do to give you that sound. So
the mouth makes the pitch.
Right. So if I hold the same note out and I change my mouth shape, it's going to change what the scream sounds like. So if I go, every shape that I make makes a different sound and a different delivery in the room.
Did I do it?
You're on your way. It's
I just sound frustrated.
You sound, but that's half of metal. Is sounding
it's
angry.
Frustration.
Sound angry, and you'll be fine.
It doesn't hurt, so I'm doing something correctly. So we'll see. One day you'll teach me. Thank you for the lecture.
Oh, this is important to note too. Those side profiles, when her mouth is really wide open and you can actually see the inside of her mouth, look at the tip of her tongue and how she's pulling it back.
We're going back again.
So what she's doing there is she's creating a channel for the air, and because it's going up and then out, it gives it a sharper, higher sound, versus if she has that really wide open but narrow tunnel, it's going to give it a low sound. So watch her when her mouth opens up really wide and listen to the pitch shift.
So it went back.
The tip of her tongue pulled back, which forced everything in the back of her mouth to open up even wider to create that channel. But because the tongue was pushed up and back, it gave it a narrower space to come out, giving it a higher pitch.
Very cool. We're all learning this week. Heck yeah. Ooh, look at that tappy taps, tippy taps. Dead faces. Tippy taps, tippy taps. Right back to singing, no problems.
And this verse has a little bit more of like a, almost a poppier sound to it than the first one.
In this one.
I kind of like the transition because they just went from that really heavy, really driven part, and now they're back to, you know, that soft, really reserved kind of sound instrumentally, but there's a lot more energy behind it. I dig it.
Yeah, this definitely isn't anything. I'm not saying she's not like a talented singer at all. I'm just saying this is definitely something that's very comfortable for her. It's nothing straining for anybody. This is her. She probably talks. I've never heard her speak before, but she probably talks somewhere near this range, and that's probably why it's easy and it shouldn't be hard. I mean, singing should always feel like talking, no matter whether you're doing or everything should feel like talking. Nothing should ever feel strenuous or anything like that. And she knows how to control everything, very obviously. All right?
Oh no!
The beginning or the end, you can't tell.
You gotta watch this. You're gonna be horrified.
Shake my tail. I grew and different.
I like that. It was a cool slide that she had there. Very cool. Yeah. Yeah, she's very James Hetfield. She goes, yeah, at the end of everything.
Yeah!
Yeah! Love it. Wonder who her inspirations are. Here we go again. I got the camera shakes. If I had both headphones in, I'd probably be able to understand what she's saying. But she is pronouncing everything pretty well. I only have one headphone in.
Yeah, and that's actually really hard to do when you're screaming if you're not like really clear and over accentuating what you're trying to say and making sure you're hitting every vowel, every consonant. Everything has to be super tight. And she's doing a really good job. But you hear a lot of vocalists live when they're delivering their words, it sounds like mumbled mush because it's more about getting that sound out than it is, about the diction and about getting, everything really solid. But she's doing a really good job.
Yeah. Which would you prefer?
If I could have it my way, I'd rather it sound really good and be easy to understand.
Yeah.
Overall, I think that in a live setting, you can kind of be forgiven with either or. You know what I mean? Because, going to shows, if you hear a vocalist do something that sounds disgustingly good, you don't care what they're saying. You're just like, how'd you do that?
Oh my god.
How did you do that? And sometimes when you expect it from the vocalist and they don't do it to deliver the line better, it's almost disappointing. Because you expect to hear that low guttural or that really high, whatever it is they're doing, and then they don't do it for the sake of delivering the line, and it's like, no, I don't like it.
Yeah.
It happens sometimes.
Yeah, I hear that.
Another important thing to notice is her head position when she's screaming. So if you notice when she goes to hit her lower notes, her head comes back a little bit, and when she's going for her higher notes, it goes forward a little bit. So let's go back to that last section. So see here how it's a little bit more straight up versus when she's trying to hit either end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And she actually did something different there. She cocked her head to the side, and that may just be a comfort thing. And I think that every vocalist is a little bit different with their head positions. When I go to do my screams, I have to have my head turned to the left. I don't know what it is, but if I turn my head this way, it comes out so much better than if I turn my head this way. I don't get it.
Maybe you have a bigger gland on one side. Could be.
Giant glands.
Giant glands.
I should also point out that I am just talking based off of my experience here.
Oh, you have
I've
way
been
more
doing
experience with this than I do.
For a couple years, I kind of know what I'm doing. So, if it doesn't sound...
He's not a certified voice teacher like me.
Not even in the slightest.
He's definitely very good at it.
I just make loud
And you've never had
voices.
an injury, right?
No.
Okay. So you definitely...
Got a show tonight, don't do that to me!
So he does know what he's talking about. That's why I asked him to be here.
This might be a dumb thing to ask, but I wonder if the tongue ring makes a difference in what she has to do to scream because it changes the shape of the opening.
It does. There's some vibrato. Whoa! She had a medium vibrato. It was good. Perfectly fitting. That beautiful long mouth shape, not wide. I don't know what she said, but she was la. Perfect. Don't widen your mouth on me, girl.
Promise you wouldn't do
I have said that!
You promise.
I don't know. I wish I knew what she's saying. E5s. Nice. Let's rewind
That was
so we hear the
awesome.
whole thing. She had a little bit of a growl in there too. She's like, nah, nah, nah. And then she cried at the end of it. Oh, I get to talk now. Heck yeah. Nice mixed voice. And do we know what kind of mixed voice that was? That was definitely not a twangy mixy voice. That was definitely more of a back of your head mixy voice, more of a I like to talk back here kind of thing. It definitely helped you drag it up here without getting in there. A lot of good stuff. I love her boots. Look at those things. Oh, kill it, Jinjer.
Don't suffocate in pain, don't tortures. Long content, deadless of callousness. My going on, of phantom butchers. And the roads are ripped away.
I like to think that one day I'm gonna wake up and just go and it's gonna just come out, but it doesn't.
No, it takes many
It doesn't.
sessions in your car doing it until it hurts and then crying because you didn't get it. No, it takes a lot of
So you
practice.
have-
I started with trying to do this stuff when I was probably 15, 16, my first band ever. It was like a blind faith attempt. Oh, I can figure this out, and it sounded terrible.
Yeah.
It was so bad. And it still sounds bad, but at least
No,
it's
it
better. It's better than it was, though.
It doesn't sound bad.
But it takes a long time. It's just like anything else. You know, you get your fundamentals down, and then it's making the fundamentals second nature, and then applying different knowledge on top
Just
of
like
your
regular
foundation.
singing.
Exactly.
Everybody, muscle memory, everyone. Muscle memory. So when you get frustrated, singing and screaming and saying, this isn't working fast enough, why isn't this working? Dude, it takes years.
So many years.
It takes years to get this muscle memory down, okay? Years of doing the same thing over and over and over again, and then doing the same thing in another way over and over and over and over again until it is second nature. You don't have to think about it, and then you can focus on things like diction. Like, just get the sound right first. Take all your vowels away for a while and just get the sound right first. Get the chord closure, get the connection, get the breath flow.
It's also important to note that it's really individual. You know, for different people, it's going to sound different when you first try.
Yep.
So
There's some naturals, definitely.
Yeah, but having someone that you emulate isn't always helpful.
No.
So like, let's say your body naturally allows you to get a vocal fry, but you're trying to match somebody doing a false chord guttural. You're possibly going to get two completely different sounds. And that's fine because you haven't learned how to do false chords yet.
Yeah.
And differentiating between the two is not always easy. I know a lot of people who I ask, oh, what kind of style do you use? Because I've never heard it before. And they're like, I don't know, man, I just do it.
Yeah.
And that just works for some people.
Lessons from Nubby and Andrew. That was a higher one. That was a higher one.
Girl.
Is that one different?
It's the same technique, it's just delivered with that tighter space.
Is that still false chord?
That's, to me, it doesn't sound like a different technique to me. A lot of people that learn how to do false chords for the, very early on, they only have like one pitch. But it's just like a vocal range. When you exercise, the different areas that you push from and the different shapes of your mouth and tongue shapes and all that other kind of stuff, you develop a range and you learn how to move within your range and deliver things like that.
It made her pitch higher. Mm-hmm. Do it higher. So that was higher.
Yes.
Good.
So again, it's a different shape. It's open wider and pushed up higher, more pointed, sharper.
I'd like to try to do something and see if maybe I can get a sound out. And if not, I'm gonna make a complete fucking fool of myself. And I'm very excited to do so. Teach me something, sir.
What? Okay.
So I figured out the whole kind of sound. So that's, what am I doing?
It sounds like you're finding your spot. And finding your spot basically just means figuring out where you need to channel. Because you should always be, as singers know, projecting from your diaphragm, making sure that you're using your core muscles. And
Diaphragm.
it is important because if you try doing this from your lungs, you're going to end up hurting yourself. That's how you end up
I
really
explained
damaging your
this
vocal
once.
cords.
You hit a ceiling at some point and you can't go anymore, and then you just bust a gut and all is bad.
Here,
What is
it's-
this? What am I doing?
You are basically, and if I'm, again, no science, don't know this, but you're creating tension in your hypopharynx, which is allowing you to create this distortion in the back of your throat.
Explain where the hypopharynx is.
It's where your oropharynx and your nasopharynx meet
There you go.
in the back of your head.
Ah.
When you have allergies, if you're like me, and allergies are awful this year, you feel that drip in the back of your throat
Yeah.
where your nose meets the roof of your mouth. That's your hypopharynx. So
There you go.
singers know as well, channeling your voice through your nose gives you a really kind of weird sound.
And we know what that is, right? That's twang!
Yeah, see? Yeah, gives you this nice little sound here. Being able to get your sound to go through there and through your oropharynx at the same time, so you get both airflows and pitches coming at the same time. coming out at the same time to create that distortion, it's not easy to do. So you're finding your spot, which is good, and then from there it's a matter of channeling your air to project. So posture. So you wanna, find your diaphragm. Yep, you find your spot. When I found my spot, it was super quiet, and over time I could just kind of push, like I do what I call swells. I'll push from a quiet, and then I'll add a little more, and then I'll let it back.
Messa di voce. There's actually a term for that.
That's what I did.
So doing it on singing, it would be like.
I tried to do something like that, which helped me gain the confidence to change that mouth shape. But if you look in a mirror when you first start doing this, you're gonna be petrified. You're gonna look at yourself and go, why am I doing this? This is not aesthetically pleasing at all. But it's really important that your mouth shape changes.
So basically just push.
Push.
Push it out, shove it out, way out. Who knows what that's from? Doug's telling us to hurry up. Sorry, this is a long one. All right, we're done. My final thoughts on Jinjer is beautiful singing voice, kick-ass screamer. I'm happy that I found her and that I finally reviewed her, and I'm happy to have had Andrew here with me. Thank you for helping. Maybe we'll have him back in the future for other screamers. And if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns about singing, screaming, I'll try to get him to send me some answers if anybody writes any questions about that. Please leave them in the comments. Talk to me on my social media, my Facebook fan page, and my Instagram DMs. Here is his information right here. Be sure to follow his band's Allusions. I'll see you next week. Bye!